They're bred to wear parkas.
Yeah, they wear North Face shit, and they're like really obnoxious. They'll hit on your girlfriend. It's not cool. They'll
hit on your girlfriend. They're really into the Austin comedy scene.
Oh God, yeah, they won't shut up about
it. they won't shut up about Shane Gillis for some reason. It's
just the worst. And that's when you got to start shooting them.
We're actually gonna probably get a air rifle just to, if we see them like out the back, just like pop them off to get them away. You know who else needs an air rifle?
Who's that?
Hey everybody, welcome back to Pixel. My name is Kevin. With me as always is Phil. On today's show, we are starting the Elderscrolls, the Forgotten City,
Infernal City.
The Infernal City. Yeah, that's the ticket.
That's the stuff.
That's the stuff. So yeah, it's an Elderscrolls book. If you don't know what Elderscrolls is, welcome to video games.
Right. Yeah.
Elderscrolls is an RPG series that is made by Bethesda and has been around for like 31 years at this point, I think.
Yeah. When did Arena come out? That was the first one.
When did Arena come out? That's a good question. March 25th, 1994. Bam. Bang on. Perfect guess.
Wow. Nicely done. Holy shit.
So yeah, the first one is Arena. They're all these. They are first person RPGs. The first few of them, Arena and Daggerfall, have that classic like first person like pixel style that Doom has, except it's not as fun as Doom.
Yeah.
Daggerfall held
the
Daggerfall held the distinction as like the largest video game ever made for a long time. It still might be
still
up there.
Pretty goddamn big. Yeah.
It's like basically the size of Europe in the game.
It's huge. It's huge.
But yeah, so they all take place in this world that is they got a bunch of different races. They got cat people, they got lizard people, they got regular humans, and then they got like literal fucking Nazi Aryan people.
Yeah, they do a lot of cultural races, alongside their elves and their Argonians and all that shit.
and drow and all that stuff, and then it's like there's like humans, and then it's like there's the Nords. You're like,
right.
Wait a minute, we're calling them a separate race?
That's a different. Okay.
They're tall, blonde, and white.
Interesting. Very interesting. And the Khajiit are basically Romani. Like it's not without its problems.
It's not without its problems. Probably the best game in the series is Morrowind. Would you say?
I'd say it is, but the most popular is obviously Skyrim.
Most popular is Skyrim.
But I would say it'd be Morrowind for me.
Yeah, Morrowind
lost a lot of time to that one.
Lost too much time to Morrowind. Morrowind was the third game in the series. Oblivion was number 4, and Skyrim was number 5. The 6th one has been in production for 30 years.
As is its right. I mean, it's gonna have to be. They built up this reputation of being the biggest goddamn games in the world, so it makes frickin' Grand Theft Auto blush.
Yeah, basically each game takes place in a specific location. Morrowind takes place on, I think it's called Morrowind, is right? The islands?
Usually it's the name of the place it's taking.
Name of the place that it's in. So Oblivion is, it's not set in Oblivion, but you do go to Oblivion. In part 4 and part 5 is set up north in Skyrim. Where the mountain folks are, basically set during a civil war period between the Empire and the Nords, so to speak. What's the overarching story of the Elderscrolls? Fuck if I know. There's like
I don't think they're connected by anything. I think it's
and that's the sound of 1,000 people typing.
Yeah, probably.
No, it's that's the thing I will say is that the Elder Scrolls story from game to game has never really intrigued me.
Yeah. No, I think you're with the majority on that one. I think the vast majority of people who have played it all the way through the end. In fact, if you said to them, what's the storyline of this? I'm willing to bet most of them will be like, oh, I don't know. I was on an adventure. I was shouting dragon calls and killing giants and doing all that shit. And I think that's more important than anything else, really.
Yeah, it's the journey, not the destination.
Mm-hmm. Yes, guess. Very much so.
But yeah, so and what's his face has been in charge of it forever. Todd. What's his name?
Yeah, I should know that. Because that's the thing. Elder Scrolls has been my jam since Daggerfall. I've been playing it. I've been playing that game forever. I had the Daggerfall demo as a kid.
Howard.
On my PC. Yeah. Todd Howard. And that game, I probably pumped as many hours into the demo of Daggerfall as many full-fledged games. And then Morrowind came out, and I nearly failed a class in undergrad because of it. My girlfriend got me an Xbox. I think it was a graduation present or something like that. And I was sitting in a dorm as a freshman, playing through Morrowind for hours on end. It nearly, it could have gotten really bad. I never played Oblivion though. I never played I played like the first 15-20 minutes of it and never really clicked with it. Well, it's on Game Pass, and it's the remaster they did. I think I might have to give it a shot at some point. Maybe after I'm done with Rogue Trader.
On the Daggerfall box art, it says "Prepare to experience your new obsession." Yeah, and
that is accurate.
That is what it was for some people. It
goes.
Really I remember actually Dan from Game Grumps on an episode talking about how he had stopped playing. He had stopped playing video games for a few years because of his addiction to Morrowind.
Sure. I get that. You'll hear no criticism from me. I understand. It's real easy as a gamer who believes that games are art to roll their eyes when people talk about how addictive games are, but come on.
Yeah.
let's be real here.
I think he failed out of college or something like that at some point because of Morrowind.
I think
it's very similar. I just remember it being very similar to your story of just
I think he's it's funny. I think he's a couple of years older than me, maybe at the same level that I'm a couple of years older than you. And it's like him telling the story. I remember that story, and it's this thing of like, oh Jesus Christ! At least I didn't fail the class ultimately. But I could totally see how it could have happened because nowadays the big open world game and that kind of thing is a very
everything's open world. It's right. You can find an open world. You shake a stick at and find an open world. Right. But yeah, I just remember I remember my college, so my sophomore year roommate playing Morrowind and saying something like, "Hey, check this out." And I look over and he's constructed a house out of skulls that he
Sure.
Just like all the skulls that he had collected. He was just stacking them up.
Morrowind was the last one that really let you do just about anything.
Yeah.
And we'll get into it with this book, but one of the things that I think is really accurate on this book is one of our characters, without getting too far ahead, she is constantly experimenting with different ingredients to make potions and stuff. The irony of that is that this is more of a tie-in with Oblivion. It takes place like 6 years after Oblivion.
Yeah. I was like, this feels like an Oblivion tie-in.
Right, but I haven't played it. But from what I understand, Oblivion it was more of a they kind of they dumbed it down a little bit to try and reach out to more people. That's how a lot of people looked at it.
Yeah, the from 3, like going 3, 4, 5, it's like dumbed down even more, you know?
Right. And one of the things with Morrowind you could do is you could literally just sit there and create spells and create and people came up with the craziest shit. Right. It was a whole thing. Yeah. I remember.
And that's
it very fondly.
and I will say, pretty much same thing happened with Fallout once Todd Howard took it over.
Sure. It's and that's the thing, and that's also a game series that the later ones I have a lot of fondness for. I have a lot of affection for, but I totally see what old school gamers are talking about. Fallout was not my thing until the third one.
Right.
And looking at it, if you started with Fallout 1 and 2, yeah, I totally get why 3 would be like, what the fuck is this shit? You know, it makes sense. Yeah.
Who wrote this book?
Oh, this is by Greg Keyes. He's another of this is our first Greg Keyes book. He's another of our Write for Hire guys. He is from the Deep South. He's from Mississippi. He actually went to Mississippi. And he went to University of Georgia. He's
a bulldog.
He's a former anthropologist of all things.
Interesting.
And and he does a lot of the same stuff a lot of our guys do. He's a lot of novelizations. XCOM 2 Resurrection. He did the novelization for. He did a lot of Godzilla, some Planet of the Apes stuff, and also some Star Wars. He did the Edge of Victory books, and some Babylon 5, as well as some of his own original stuff. But his for hire stuff far outweighs numerically his original stuff. He wrote like some alternate reality stuff, like some alternate history stuff where it's this weird futuristic sci-fi thing where Benjamin Franklin is the main character, and it's strange. It's strange enough that I'm like, I might have to take a look at this.
I might have to check this out.
This looks a little crazy. But he wrote The Infernal City in 2009, which is what we're reading now, and he wrote its sequel, The Lord of Souls, in 2011. So that's our guy. That's Greg Keyes.
Yeah. He wrote an adaptation for XCOM 2.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
Interesting.
XCOM 2
Resurrection. Okay, it's a prequel to XCOM 2.
Yes, which and considering how badly the first XCOM novelization we read went, we might have to hop on to this.
We might have to check it out because this is a Firaxis joint rather than a whoever
it was.
Whatever that was for the first one is like, fuck it, XCOM.
What a mess. That was a mess.
That was that was a mess.
It was a real mess. This will not be free of mess. I'm going to.
This is not a mess-free book.
This is not a mess-free book. I think one of my first things that I want to point out is it's Elderscrolls. And anyone who plays a lot of Elderscrolls knows that one of the things, and you and I have talked about doing this as like bonus stuff, and let us know if this is something you'd like. There are books upon books upon books in the worlds of the Elder Scrolls. Sometimes they're a few pages, sometimes they are like short story length. And there are just so many of them, and they don't really serve a purpose in terms of like giving you a clue or pointing you. Sometimes they do, but mostly it's just flavor stuff. It's very literary oriented, and when that's the case, I was surprised to see how thin this book is. It's not even 300 pages. That's not a problem. It's I write shorter books, so that's not a big deal. It's just that I expected something denser, and as we're going to get into, I think this might have originally been something denser. And we'll get into it. But I mean, speaking of which, how about we How about we marsh that body?
Let's put that body in the marsh.
Let's do it. Okay, so.
The body of the man found dead in the Fenway marshes yesterday afternoon is that of Timothy Delahunt.
The Infernal City, an Elderscrolls novel by Greg Keyes. We start with a prologue. A group of sailors led by a Khajiit captain tumble through a terrible gale that tears their ship apart. In the distance, they see a dark shape that I, like a fool, interpreted as a tornado. They describe it as a cone.
I was like, it's a tornado, or it's over water, so a water spout. But
right, exactly. And I was like,
why would they have not seen that before?
right, and they're all horrified by it. But not for long, because then they're blown to bits. We are introduced to Sewell. He awakens. He's had some sort of prophecy, he's seen all of this. He assumes it's from Azura, the Daedric prince that he kind of worships, and he thinks Azura has pushed him in a certain direction. Azura is the Daedric prince of egotism, vanity, dusk and dawn, the magic between day and night, according to the Elderscrolls wiki. Mm-hmm. We get a lot of stuff from her in Oblivion, which makes a lot of sense. In this world, gods are less a thing, and it's more Daedric, which are kind of self-interested. It makes you think a little more of the old pagan gods, where they're kind of like, they're not good, they're not evil. Well, some of them are, but they're more capricious than anything else.
They're there. They're just there, doing their own thing.
Yeah. Right. It's very much an old, Greek god kind of situation. So this guy is a worshiper of Azura. And he believes he's being pointed in a certain direction. And he gets like a message, he says, okay, great. This dream was a terrific prophecy. What the fuck does it mean? And then he happens to look at a book, and it's like, oh, it says right in here where I should be going. And it basically corresponds to the dream he just had.
Right.
So that's our prologue, and we cut to chapter 1. We get this weird, brief interlude of a woman and an Argonian, and it looks like they're squaring off. We get they're like talking about so you're gonna kill me, and it's like, well, more like you're gonna get killed, and it feels like they're about to have a final, battle with lightsabers and shit. We cut to Aneg and Glim, who are Breton and an Argonian. Breton is one of the many.
They're the British white people.
British white people cultures, and Glim. The Argonians are swamp lizard people. I think my first instance of being intrigued by this was the fact that an Argonian was one of the main characters.
Yes.
Because they very frequently take kind of second banana to most other things when it comes to Elderscrolls. So I was like, that's a good sign.
Right.
And they are in the Black Marshes where they're from. So that's pretty cool. They argue over whether or not they should go on a quest, basically. She wants to
they're bored. They want to do stuff.
It's the most murder hobo shit you've ever heard in your life. They're bored off their tit. And she thinks that there's this guy who is a were-crocodile. Awesome.
Awesome. Yeah.
Awesome.
It's fantastic.
I am notes. There. No notes. I am with you 100%.
The only thing I would have added is if her asking him, the Argonian, is that offensive to you?
Yeah, that would have been great.
Because the Argonian is basically what you would imagine. Argonians are basically, just imagine what's his name from fucking the lizard from Spider-Man. The lizard. Yeah. Or Killer Croc, if you want to.
Or Killer Croc, they don't have to be as big as Killer Croc, but yeah. And they can swim underwater indefinitely, and and they've got all the reptile things. Pretty cool race. So he's much more interested in drinking up her dad's wine, but she talks him into it. They find the lair, which is this kind of it's like a corner of an old abandoned castle / mansion that could actually still be lived in. And they hide in the rafters as this trio comes in, and they're listening to the conversation. And through the conversation, they realize he's not a were-crocodile. He's just a common skooma smuggler. Skooma being one of the many booze / drugs that Khajiit mostly deal in. And this brings us back to the opening interlude. We find out that it's not them squaring off, it's them getting ready to die, because they almost immediately get seen.
Yeah, it's amazing. The guy is like, so who are the people up in the rafters?
Yeah. They were he knew the entire time they were talking that they were there. And he goes, all right, now that we've finished talking about that, who are those people? Like, it's that kind of situation.
And there's like, oh, I don't know them. I thought you knew them. And you're like, I don't know them. And like, that's why I sent the Bill and Ted up there to deal with them.
Right.
You know?
Right. Yeah. And it's in that moment, of course, they realize they're being hunted by people also up in the rafters. So they're spotted. They run. They take featherfall potions and escape off of Broken Roof. We find out that Aneg is basically a budding alchemist, and she has tried all kinds of different potion things. She's trying to find a potion that will make you fly. It's just beyond her, though. And she was thinking this was going to be a flying potion. It's not, but it's still pretty good. At least they don't break their legs on the way down or something. Back home, they are drinking wine now. They are doing what Glim recommended. You learn a lot about
what he wanted to do at the beginning. It's
where he wanted to be in the first place. Exactly. Yeah. And I'm with him. I 9 times out of 10, I'm supporting Glim in this book so far.
Yeah.
They give us a little information on the Empire, the Imperials, and the end of Oblivion. We talk a little bit about Emperor Martin Septim, and you get some exposition shit and some history, some background stuff. It's pretty, and the way I'm saying is kind of clumsy, but it actually is pretty well written into the thing. So Glim lets her know that his cousin is docked. He's a sailor, and everyone's been talking about a floating island with a city on it. Everyone, that's the talk of the town lately, and that's chapter 1. So far, I like it. I like our characters. I like the fantasy romp. I'm enjoying myself.
It's a good and Mayor Glim.
Yeah, awesome. I'm in.
Yeah.
Chapter 2. We meet Colin, who is talking to an old man. He's nervous. Something's going on. There's something Colin knows that the old man doesn't know. And we find out that he's been sent there to kill the old man. It is brutal. It is a very ugly scene. Not just because he is not good at killing, but like the dude is literally saying, why are you doing this? And please don't. He's begging for his life. It's rough. It's actually a really rough
Colin is
scene.
It's just like he's so bad at killing that it's like you know what it reminds me of? It reminds me of that scene in Game of Thrones where is it Theon tries to cut
yes, when he's cutting what's his name's head off and he's
Roderick.
failing miserably at.
Is it Roderick or
whoever, the guy who tied his ponytail under his chin.
Yeah. He's trying to cut his head off, and it's like, it's not a clean cut at all. It takes like 5 hacks to get the guy's head off. And the guy's
this
like
is a guy
screaming.
Who's known since he was a little kid, and it's a mess.
It's a
mess.
Literally a mess.
Yeah, and that's very much what this is. Yeah, that's very much what this is. It's sloppy, it's brutal. After the deed is done, a couple of other people who clearly Colin knows come to help him dispose of the body. And through context and through the conversation, we find out that he is now an official. They call him an inspector. And as the chapter goes on, you find that inspector is basically a sanctioned imperial assassin. And he's been working at it for 3 years or something like that, and this was like his final. He gets his final tests.
Would you say they're cops?
They're cops. They're cops. Yeah, they're definitely more of the Matt Damon type. they're pretty brutal.
No fucking cop.
They're co-ops. Yeah. I hope, ladies and gentlemen, that because that's chapter 2. And I hope over the course of this, that this Colin character that we've mentioned to you and the Sewell character, the worshiper of Zura, I hope you didn't get too attached to them because we'll not be talking about them for the rest, for another 100 pages, give or take. That is it. That is it.
We have been introduced to them. I forgot that they were in this book until you just reminded me.
I almost
and
did
I
as
read
well.
this, and I read it like I read this yesterday. It's not like
it's. I was, and this is like Exhibit A for me in terms of how I believe this used to be a much longer, windier novel. It's the fact that I one of the things they talk about him on his Wikipedia page is that one of the through lines for Greg Keyes is that he likes to tell a story through a bunch of different characters who don't necessarily meet, but they're living these parallel lives and they're all experiencing the same situation parallel to each other, which is a very cool conceit. And that's what they have set up here. But this is part 1 of the book, the first third of the book. And from here on out, all we're getting is Aneg and Glim. It is their adventure from here on out. So chapter 3, Aneg and Glim have a hangover breakfast. Classic. I've had many of these. I immediately recognized what was going on. Lovely. She's like doing this thing. The thing she does with alchemy, where she's just like mixing a little of this and a little of that. That's also what she does with her omelets, as it turns out. She's basically just making this gruel out of whatever she's like there.
She was like, I'm making it like this. And somebody goes, it's like, is it her dad? Is like, I thought you made it, it was supposed to be made like this. And she's like, you're just trying to find the same flavor profiles.
Little of this, little of that. So her father does join them. He is the relationship between him and Aneg is strained. She calls him by his name, which is always a bad sign with a dad, instead of dad. And he's kind of basically we find out that he's an old drunk. He hasn't been the same since her mom died, and then he's just kind of a mess. So they're talking, and he kind of gives them some info on the flying city, but it's clear that he's hiding something. He knows more than he is willing to talk about. Then he talks about the Hists, and there's just one that he listens to. Now, the Hists are these sentient trees that live throughout the Black Marsh. And they're not worshipped per se, but they're kind of venerated. And they are all connected in some way. So the idea is that they're all related / kind of the same being. Yeah. And people ask them questions and they get guidance from them and that sort of thing. And what's starting to happen is there's one Hist in particular that seems to be straying from the pack in terms of the stuff that it's talking about. And this is the only one that her dad will talk to. Basically, he's I don't know about the politics specifically, but he's kind of like going QAnon. Like he's getting real paranoid. The difference is I think he might be right about some of this stuff.
Sure. But by the way, it's like they have this thing called the Hist, and it reminded me of I don't know. I think you never played Control, did you?
No, I never played Control.
The enemy in Control is called the Hiss.
Okay.
Which is, it's basically like, and it's like a sentient frequency sort of that.
Oh, that's cool.
Basically, once somebody hears it, they are under the control of the Hiss. It sounds like a hiss to the person, but it's
what a fun idea. I like that.
Yeah,
it's like zombie tinnitus.
Yeah. Pretty much. That's pretty cool. Kind of what it was in Control.
I like that. That's fun. Okay, cool. But so they're dealing with the awkwardness of dad coming down to have breakfast with them. So Glim heads out. And we get a really interesting inner monologue. Glim's inner monologue, we get a couple of instances of it in this section. And I find it some of the best writing in this book. And it's talking about assimilation. Because the Imperials have taken over the Black Marsh where the Argonians are from. They couldn't be more different. Their culture is different. And he has a lot of thoughts about code switching and stuff like that. He talks a different way depending on who he's talking to.
Probably the best section of the book
it's
where
really
he's like,
good.
He's like, and it actually reminds me of there's actually a good scene in Modern Family where Sofia Vergara is talking to I think it's to her husband or somebody else, and she says, "Do you know how smart I am in Spanish?" Like she's like, I think everything in Spanish, and then I say it. I translate it and say it in English. And it reminded me, I was reminded of that reading this, where he's like, yeah, like I can think more nuanced thoughts in my native tongue than the words in the other languages that I know just don't exist.
Right. It's very well written, and it makes sense because Greg Keyes is actually a linguist. Like, he's a trained linguist. That's his thing. But it has a lot. It's like a page and a half, and it has a lot to say though about assimilation, about code switching, about different cultures and colonization. And holy shit, it's good. Like, it's really well written and really well thought out. So he touches one of the tree roots of the nearby Hist, and he has some kind of vision, or he sees a mysterious city with two moons. So he goes to Irwin, who is some sort of like psychic priest. The psychics in this land are called psychics, I guess, or psychics. It depends on how you pronounce it. But so he's asking him about what they've been talking about, and he tells him, the floating city, it's already here. And he does the whole Jedi / tech bro thing of being like, it is, but it isn't, He's
like, shut the fuck up.
Right. It's like, it's part of Oblivion, but it's not, it's pretty standard fortune teller shit, really.
Yeah.
So he gets kind of worked up. And he said, I don't want to talk. You need to leave. And he basically makes him leave.
Like, I don't want to talk about it anymore.
Yeah, that's exactly it. He's just a little too worked up to talk about this shit anymore. Chapter 4, Aneg, she is with her own old mentor kind of figure, Hecua, who is an old alchemist, and they're discussing potions. She finds an ingredient that neither of them have any clue what it is. Basically, years ago, some guy came in, was hurting really bad, and Hecua was like, well, I feel bad for him. I'll fix him up. And the only thing he could offer was this mysterious ingredient that she's never opened, that she's never looked into, that she has no idea what it is. And Aneg's like, I'll take it. And she goes, yeah, fine. Go on. 16-year-old adventurer. Enjoy yourself. And
one of my favorite misfires that they talk about for an egg is that she created an invisibility potion for Glim to take, but it only made his skin invisible. So basically, he just looked like floating internal organs.
And Hector was like, "Hey, listen, it took me a week to like cure him of that. Please be careful with whatever you make." It's really good. I think these two characters are the most level 1 D&D characters you can have. Like, they're going on kind of light impact missions and fucking up, and so it's very well done.
They're level 1, and they're not leveling up anytime soon.
Not anytime soon, no sir. So she synthesizes the ingredient. They use some other term for it, but I get the impression it was like she centrifuges it, basically. So she spins out so suddenly Glim is missing, and she hasn't seen Glim in a while. And I interpreted this as just the fact that they have been friends since they were like kids. He points out that he says we've been friends since we were hatchlings. So she hasn't heard from him in a while. And so she sends out this clockwork sparrow named Koo. And the whole thing with the mechanism of this thing is that she has a locket and she can look into the locket and basically see what Koo sees and hear,
right,
and talk to him and give him orders, stuff like that.
Yeah.
So she sends him out to find Glim. So her dad comes to her and he basically tells her that he sold the house and you've got to get the fuck out of here. Because he's talked a lot about how you got to get out of here. I want you out of here. I want you, not in a mean way, but like, hey,
right,
you deserve better than this. I want you to go on your adventures.
Start your life, that kind of stuff.
Yeah. And what's happened is that he has hired a group of thugs to kidnap her and throw her on a ship to take her across the ocean to the Empire, like, so she can begin her, and she's fighting it. It's like he has literally paid these guys to kidnap her and force her out of town.
Right.
Which honestly, and he says, I hope that one day you think back and realize I did right by you. This is what you need. So she's on this ship, and that's what we're doing now. So Glim finds Koo eventually, and hears through Koo, that he hears a struggle and he hears her fighting and he goes, oh shit, I gotta go save my girlfriend. Chapter 5, an egg. She hears from Glim through the locket. He's trying to find her. The captain of the ship, lets her above deck eventually when they're out in deep water. He's like,
you're not getting anywhere. So you're not going to go anywhere. We're in deep water. You'll just drown. So I'm going to let you do your stuff.
Right. Exactly. So, I was hoping this would be the beginning of a rollicking good nautical adventure. No, it lasts for another couple of pages before Glim shows up and they just dive overboard.
Right overboard. It's like, right overboard. We're past the pirate nautical adventure stuff.
We were introduced to this captain. He was kind of interesting, and that's it. That's all.
The prologue was on the ocean. But like, we're returning to the ocean, boys. Right. Here we go.
Right. Nautical adventures back on the menu. No. Bingo. Nothing. No. It's so crazy. So she's hanging on to him for dear life, basically, because he's an Argonian and he can just tear through the water. They find an island, and he realizes that he knows where they ought to go. It starts to tumble a little bit. We're getting to the point here a little too fast and a little sloppily, because I was like, oh, how the fuck does he? Okay, fine. So they head to a group of ruins where they find the floating city. And Glim, who would rather just stay home and get drunk, suddenly is all about going there. And an egg is suddenly the one who's like, no, I want to go home. So this is so confusing. This is where it starts to get really confusing.
I got lost right about here. I was like, what the fuck just happened?
So she's like, we got to get out of here. And he's like, we got to go on the island. She forces a flight potion that she has successfully made, I'm assuming, with the mystery ingredient.
At some point.
She forces him to drink it, and they're both flying. And he says, well, great, I can fly to the floating island. And she just kind of goes with him. Despite everything, it's very confusing. It's weird.
Yeah.
And it takes us into chapter 6, where the book takes a sharp left turn into fuckery. This is where up until around here, I was having a really good time.
Yeah. And then we're through the looking glass, and we didn't consent to that. It's like the story that we were given in the first few chapters was like, this is high adventure. This is something. And now it's like, what the fuck are the words that I'm reading on the page now?
What is this?
Did James Joyce start writing Dubliners and write it into my eyeballs?
It's we're
weird. Middlers. I'm Jimmy John, the Middleburger.
And I'm like, we're about to go into like This is like, it goes, yeah, because you're right. It's like high fantasy, classic fantasy D&D style Tolkien kind of shit. And we're about to head into this weird 80s labyrinth style kind of fantasy where everything is up for grabs. And it's just, anyway. So chapter 6, I'm going to read you just how I wrote it. Okay. So they say they're on a flying island, but suddenly they're passing through an area of the Black Marsh again. First and foremost, they're on this floating island, but then it tells us that they're wandering through the Black Marsh. I'm assuming, and later they talk about them looking off the edge. So I'm like, oh, okay. So they're like, all right, they're looking over the edge down on the ground where things are happening. And they watch a random group of Bretons who have built this barricade. We don't know why. We don't know what's going on there. And they get slaughtered by this random group of sea creatures. And then they kind of rise from the dead like zombies. And then Aneg and Glim start kind of freaking out and saying, we've only got so long to help them. And I'm like, what the fuck are we talking about?
Yeah.
It doesn't make any sense. And so I'm confused. They're on the edge of the island looking down at what's happening. But why? You're on a floating island. Why are you still looking? Why aren't we learning about all the shit that's in front of you? It's a city.
Yeah.
There's a whole city there. And we're still talking about, oh, look what's happening down there. What the fuck? It's so weird. They're on this mysterious new land and they're still like looking down at the stuff that's going on down there. So it's right off the bat. It feels like we've got different characters. It feels like we switched authors. It's so weird. So, they do eventually start kind of like creeping into the island. They're basically in like, it's nothing about this is clear. That's the problem. Yeah. There's a lot of shit.
We have not been painted a picture because there's just like a line where it says the air was thick with flyers and threads. And wherever they fell, a silvery thread followed, striking the body and reeling back up brighter. The moths simply vanished. It's just like there's not enough, like whatever he is trying to describe here was just not, there was no image generated in my head. You know what I mean? It's like footage not found, just in my head.
Yeah. That is like a good 50% of it. It's just like footage not found. It doesn't make any sense. And you have to infer a lot and you have to guess a lot. And by the way, knowing a lot about the Elderscrolls will not help you because this is not connected. This floating city is not part of any of the previously maintained Elder Scrolls lore. This is just a new thing. So you just kind of have to infer shit. They're kind of in the root system, sewer system. They're like on the lower levels and they're digging their way through. Well, not literally digging their way through. There's like tunnels and it's like a labyrinth. And there's a party that's kind of searching for them. They overhear, and there are like cords of spider web. They like describe it as cables of spider web, that it looks like web sacks and egg sacks and stuff. But we don't see a spider. So it's just weird. And they overhear a group of people looking for them. And it's like, how the fuck did they know? Okay, whatever. So Aneg takes Ku and says, go to Prince Etribus and tell him what's happening. Who the fuck is Prince Etribus? I hear you saying.
Who is this guy?
Mental hunger. Yeah. You look it up, and he is a character in this book alone. He is not in any of the other games. He's the son of one of the emperors. And I think this might be the first time he's mentioned. And so she's just like, just tell him, she says, tell him what's happening. And to which I said, what is happening?
Tell me, the reader, what is happening. Yeah.
What's going on? Why am I in the dark? This is it's so frustrating. So they travel, but Koo doesn't know. Koo's just Koo. And so, I'll go and tell the prince. Okay, cool.
Koo's a clockwork bird. He flies off.
Yeah, he nothing. Yeah, he fucks off. It's just a sparrow version of that owl in Clash of the Titans. It's the same shit. Yeah. They meet, is it Wemrettle, I want to say, is the name of this fucking dude?
Fucking Wemrettle, piss pot, the middle. Yeah, Wemrettle.
Yeah, speaking of Labyrinth, I pictured Hoggle. And when they find him, he's licking the spiderweb cables.
Yeah.
And it's like clear, you feel like, it feels like they caught him with his nuts out. Like it's like, he's like, oh gosh, oh jeez.
Jeez, it's natural. It's perfectly a natural thing to be doing.
It's perfectly a natural thing to do. Exactly. So we know this guy for 5 seconds. He realizes, he kind of infers that they're not from there, and they're from off the island. And so immediately, in true RPG fashion, he needs their help. And in true RPG fashion, they question nothing and say, well, lead us to the thing you need, random stranger. Sounds good. Chapter 7. Wemrettle basically tells him, he gives him some background, and I will say, this is actually pretty well written. Right. It just goes on too long.
So Wemrettle is from the Middens. And
yes.
We're in the lowest of the Middens or something like that. And at this point, I'm like, so they're not on top of the island. No. Okay.
This is the first time we have, this is the only way we know about this, by the way, for sure.
I was like, I assumed you would go to the top. If you're fucking flying, you would go to the top of the island and be like, no, they're in the middle of the island, and be like, I guess the middle of the thing had a landing zone.
Yes. Yeah, sure. Yeah. Sure. It had the root system somehow. I don't know. Despite the fact that it was described as a cone. So it's like, basically you'd have to land on an upside down triangle. But anyway, but it is well written, where it's this kind of low context, high context kind of situation where, he has no idea what they're talking about. And they don't know the most basic thing about where they are. And he's kind of like, and it confuses everything that he says, because he doesn't know how to even begin with them. It'd be like if a fish hopped out of the ocean and was like, well, why does your chest rise like that and then go down again? And you're like, wait, what are you even are you talking about breathing? Like it's pretty good. It just goes on a little too long.
Yeah.
But through this, we get some exposition, and we're basically told that the island, which is called Umbriel, the island is basically Galactus. That's basic. It just goes from place to place, and it steals souls, and it just drains people wherever it goes. It's a tornado of soul drinking. Like that's what it is.
And the threads are basically they're just soul sucking tubes. They're just sucking the souls up. And the moths. So it's like the moths have to hatch down there, or else if they start on the islands, then they would become incorporeal. Yeah. Mm-hmm. By the time they get down there, because that's the thing, is if you're from the island, you can't go down there because then you just become a ghost. You can't interact with anything. But the moths are attaching the threads to people and sucking and drinking their souls up. And that's what Wemrettle was doing when they first met him. He was licking one of the tubes just to get like a little residue of soul juice from that the island is sucking up. And I was like, okay, I get it now, sort of.
Well, and this is where you kind of start to realize what the problem is here. And this is where it really came together for me. Excuse me. That this was a longer, larger novel, at least in its planning, if not in practice. These kind of strange little world building things can absolutely work. Little interstitials with a character who's super interesting, but you only see for like 10 pages. That shit can work in a much larger world, in a much larger kind of a story. And as I said before, this is not even 300 pages. This is a short novel in the grand scheme of things.
Right.
So we are introduced to a lot of world building stuff and mechanics that we are not going to be with for very long. And so instead of making us go, ooh, what a rich world we are in, it just makes you go, what the fuck was that? What's happening? Like it just
who's that guy?
Exactly. You become the senior citizen, that's always behind me in the movies going, who's that? Like that's who you become.
What did they say?
It's that kind of shit. And we're given very little in the way of clarification for a lot of this shit. They end up in a pit. This is where I just almost, if this wasn't on, I almost threw it at the wall. I was reading it at work, or I would have. They're in a pit that has like these vaulted ceilings and these holes. This is all actually very interesting shit. I'm going to I want to say this up front. This is actually a very interesting idea. We are treated to none of it. It's this pit they're in. It's got these vaulted ceilings with 4 or 5 different holes in them, and stuff is falling out of the holes. And the suggestion seems to be that Umbriel, the floating island, is a being. It is a Gaia kind of figure where it has a digestion tract, and it's a living thing.
Yeah, it is basically like somewhere between Galactus and Ego.
Yes, absolutely. Ego is a great way to put it. Yeah, exactly. And here's the thing. I just said, by the way, stuff is falling out of these holes. That was on purpose. The only descriptor we're given for what is falling out of these holes is stuff. That is it. He doesn't describe the stuff. We don't know if it's goo. We don't know if it's solid. We don't know if it's like individual items. It's just stuff. And I nearly threw the book across the room. I was so angry. That was what pushed me over the edge. I was so fucking mad. It's just God's sake. Because when they started, because they were like, they're thinking this is a Daedric island. Some Daedra live here, probably.
Right.
But then they also should go, maybe the island's a Daedra. Maybe this is like, they suggest, they're like, Daedras take up different beings. They take up different forms all the time. Yeah. So so it's really interesting. Really, I could really chew on that for a little while. And then they're like, and there's fucking stuff. It's just falling out of the holes. And
this is our holes of stuff. It's like basically Dax Shepard's character from Idiocracy just like steps in. It's like the most interesting thing you've ever seen. And then his character takes over narration for a second. It's like, this is a fucking stuff hole.
These are holes of stuff. God damn it.
Go away. Stuff hole.
Leave me alone. I'm tired. So they get kind of captured by this gang. The implication, they start talking about food a lot here. And the implication is that each one of these holes is like, it's connected to a kitchen, basically. Yeah. And so we get this rough and tumble chef who comes down, great big barbarian lout style, red haired kind of guy. I was thinking of what's his face in Game of Thrones.
Sure. Yeah.
And Tormund. Torment.
Giant
Torment.
Spain.
Giant Spain, exactly. I was thinking it's that kind of dude, and he's like, "I'm taking you guys. I have captured you." And then and then this other group comes in that's led by a character named I have no idea. It's Qijne. So I'm gonna say Queen.
Queen. Let's say Queen.
Queen. Yeah. Let's say Queen. So she does some very basic entry level. I'm a badass. And here's why kind of shit. She like slashes his cheek and Egg doesn't even, I didn't see her hand move. My God.
It's like level 3 character coming in to stunt on these level 1 hoes.
That's exactly what it is. You didn't know? You know, it's that kind of shit, and it's like, okay, great. And so, and we're told that Negs is like, this is the scariest person I've ever met. Okay, fine.
We're told that this is the scariest. Yeah. Aneg looked into the camera and said, "This is the scariest person I ever met."
Wow, I am really scared. You remember, but it makes sense though, because you remember that moment. I think it was season 4 of Breaking Bad, where Jesse looks at the camera and he says, "This Gus guy is the scariest dude I've ever met."
Yeah.
So it has precedent. This stuff happens.
And then the fly flies away.
Right. So hooray. So she takes them instead. So thank God that little misunderstanding is over. They got captured by one group and now they're captured by another.
Yeah,
and they just go with her.
Warm Piss, the middler, is out.
And he's out. Yeah. He gave them up or something like that. It's who cares? We'll never see him again. We haven't even seen Colin or Sewell again. And they've got prophecy and assassination shit. What makes you think we're going to see the piss boy ever again? We're not. It's not happening. God damn it. I was enjoying this book for a minute.
For a hot minute, it was really enjoyable.
I was really enjoying it for a good 50 pages. I was really having fun. Okay, chapter 8. Queen takes them to her kitchen, where the Cantina cast from Mos Eisley are working. Apparently, yep. It's just every short, tall, fat, thin alien creature you ever saw.
It's the fucking one of the things is basically described to look like the alien, the little dude that sits on Jabba's tail.
Oh, I know his name.
What's his name?
God damn it. Hold on. Something Crumb? Hold on.
Salacious
God damn it,
Crumb.
I should know this. Yes, Salacious Crumb. Okay. What a name, by the way. Holy shit. Yeah. And there's one, my favorite description was the one that's like a spherical bunny. It looked like a rabbit, but spherical. And then we moved on. What the hell is going on? So we're in the kitchen.
We're in the kitchen,
and it seems to be an actual kitchen. And she's explaining how this works. There are different levels of people here. There are the high end people, and there are the low end people. And the low end people get the low end food. But the high end people get the really creative shit. And I need you, an egg, to help me make exciting, new, unique meals. And this is based entirely on the fact that Aneg is from off the island. They're like, well, yes. you're not from here, and we're here now. We're in this land that you are from. So I need you to guide my cooks to making cool, interesting stuff. We even get kind of a funny. Sorry, go on.
We also get the full bear moment here where it's she goes, "I'm sorry," and Queen goes, "I'm sorry, chef."
That's right.
And we get yes, chef, and it's just this is prior to the bear and prior to the menu where But I was like, he clearly worked in the kitchen at some point. In a kitchen,
he knew something. He knew something. It's so
yes,
yeah,
chef.
and I got a kick out of that. That was pretty funny. So she's basically making an egg like this kind of apprentice, haute cuisine kind of person who's going to come up with fascinating and new things. By the way, all this is happening. Glim is apparently just in the background somewhere. He's not. We don't. He's
supposed to just be in the background. And then he just fucks off.
And then just disappears.
We get no description about how that happens.
No.
It just does.
You know what we do get descriptions of? We get descriptions of an egg just going, okay, I guess this is my job now. Well, bring me this and they give her like servants, like a hob. And
she gets a hob and a scamp.
And a scamp. A hob and a scamp. Oh, God. I remember shore leave when I got a hob and a scamp. And it's like, so she's suddenly like, yes, chef. And she's in it. And she's like, okay, we're going to come up with something. God damn it. They're ordering. And she suddenly,
it became Elderscrolls Overcooked.
Right. She just takes it and she's like, yeah, okay, I guess we're doing this. So she's working a fire for some reason, and everything that she's meant to do is just so vague. They never say at any point, like, they like this or they like that. It's just the most vague, lazy kind of like, well, they'll want something unique. Come up with something unique.
It's like, this place likes it burned.
Right.
And yeah.
But don't you dare burn this place. And oh my God. And so
literally
they finally,
it's like a cook. It becomes Elder Scrolls, a cooking game. Just
right.
we're in some sort of kitchen management sim now.
That's really it. It's like, it's papers, please, with burnt food. To make sure to give the burnt food to these guys and the non-burnt food to these guys. And don't do it or you'll lose points. And something about creeping dictatorship and totalitarianism. And so she gets the staff. And this is another moment that made me want to throw the book across the room, where by the way, she is speaking a language that is different. Like these creatures are all speaking this kind of archaic, dead language, like a variant of it. And she has studied enough of it to understand what they're saying, to speak with them. In her, just coincidentally, she happens to know the language. And Glim, to be fair to Glim, he's sitting there because he doesn't understand what the fuck anyone's saying. So at one point, he says to her, I don't speak the language, but it's pretty clear what they want from you. How?
Yeah.
How has it ever? No, I'm reading the book. I know what they said, and it's unclear to me.
I don't get it. Yeah.
I don't get it. So she's working a fire. She's doing, and she says like it feels like she's been working for days at a certain point. That just snaps by. And they lead her to this communal room where she's got a cot and she lays down and oops, Glim's been taken away. Okay.
Fine.
It's just like, yeah, your friend got taken away. Oh, did he now?
You were so locked in on cooking that like you didn't notice that your friend Glim was gone?
You wanted to be cooking mama so bad that you forgot about your best friend in the world who is now gone. It's fucking stupid. So she has her moment of laying on the cot and going, I wish my friends were here, and speaking into her locket, please find Glim or whatever. You know, she's just
find
sad.
The prince. The thing is
find
trying
the prince.
To find
that's right. Find the prince.
Yeah,
right.
Atribus.
Atribus. Yeah, the prince that we've been introduced to and we know so thoroughly. We cut to Glim. We get more genuinely interesting, well-written internal monologue from Glim, this time about the cultural differences on the afterlife. Wondering where he's going to go when he dies. And this is what the Imperials believe, but this is how my people typically believe it. It's really good. It's like a page and a half of really interesting internal monologue from this character who is actually very interesting. It's once more. It's about colonization. It's about assimilation. It's really well written.
Right.
And that's it. And then he gets basically put in a cell and he meets a guy who's just babbling at him. He can't understand him. And he gives him a potion. He drinks it. And it's basically an understand languages potion. So you understand me now? Yeah, I understand you now. So basically he interviews him about what an Argonian is. He goes, we've never had a guy like you here. So what is this all about? What are your stat bonuses? Basically, what are your special abilities? What are your saving throws? And he interviews him about his race and what they're good at. They swim, they can breathe underwater, shit like that. And the guy basically implies, we're going to put you to work on the sump, back down in the piss hole gutter. So maybe
where the worms are.
Yeah, exactly.
Worms, by the way.
There's worms, by the way. Yeah, they just they're like basically the internal bacteria of this.
This guy is an asshole, by the way.
Totally.
He's like, where are you from? And Glim's like, I'm from Tamriel. And the guy goes like, exciting, another meaningless word. And be like, no, it's not meaningless. You fucking.
It's just a different language, you piece of shit. Like it's that. He's like condescendingly excited about this person from another culture. It's like if you'd never met a Mexican before and you knew nothing about that culture, and they're like, well, I'm making a burrito, and you're like, you guys are so cute with your fake bullshit words. A burrito? Wow. I am really interested and kind of racist. Like it's basically that.
Yeah.
And so they're going to put him to work. And that's really exciting to know, and a really exciting a place to end part 1 on, because they do. And that's the end of part 1. And that's the end of our time together tonight. Kevin, what do you think about the Infernal City?
Well, because I forgot to do it earlier, my thoughts on the Infernal City are brought to you by patreon.com/pixelatpod, where you can join one of 3 tiers, 4 if you count for free, and I do. $1, $5, $10, $1 it gets you the ad-free episode, $5 gets you the bonus that we record before every episode, and $10 gets your name shouted out in every episode. And to that end, I want to shout out the Jesus Loves You, Kyle Seaman, Ruthless Mutter, Middle of Things, Sigma Sal, Sanguine Flatulence, Chut Beaks, Dummy Thick, and Friendly Friend. Thank you so much for being a friend. This book fucking sucks.
I am so frustrated. Yeah.
I liked the first half of what we read, and I'm gonna. So let me rephrase. Part 1 is 50% good, 50%. Like it just seems like I texted you as like, this is weird. It feels like deleted scenes or something. We're missing stuff. It's like it's all the good description in the linguist stuff is just somehow missing in the actual physical description of the world that we're in when it comes to the Umbriel or wherever the fucking floating islands. It just it's moving too fast to be like, wait. No, what was that? What was the wire thread thing? What's the deal with the moths? The moths do. Okay. We're not going to dwell on that at all. It just sucks up the souls. There's worms. Oh, we're in a kitchen now. There's no fire in the kitchen, just hot stones or hot things.
That's right. Yeah.
Don't burn the chicken, but burn.
Oh yeah, they get real mad over the semantics of burning things. Like let's talk about that. My God.
So like I liked it. It was like, whoa, we're in for adventure. I guess we're not now. They're just working now. It's like the opposite of adventure. They got day jobs.
That's exactly what it is. They got day jobs. work in a kitchen now. That's what happened. That's what happened.
They got kidnapped by a floating island, and they got day jobs, and that's pretty much the. Okay.
It's become a horror book, is what we're saying.
Yeah, yeah. They were in a world of adventure. There's like it's a real world of magic and adventurous things you can do, and they got caught by Galactus, but instead of being eaten, they were being like forced to work for like the Silver Surfers, like surfboard wax procurer.
Is there anything more horrifying than being in the land of Faerun and finding out that you have to do a 9 to 5 for the rest of your lives? Yeah. Nothing. No. So it is a horror piece, I think. I totally agree. This is so frustrating. And this is where I come to what I've been talking about this entire time, where the only explanation that makes sense to me is that this was a much larger piece. That he was like, yeah, I got you. I got your 400 word novel right here. I got your 500 word novel right here. And they're like, whoa. We're not investing that much in a tie-in novel. You're going to have to cut it down by about half.
Yeah.
And so he was like, I can't write a whole new thing. And so instead, it's because you're right. It's genuinely these moments that it feels like scene not found, missing scene. And there are so many things that are hinted at that it just ends up being rushed and sloppy. And it starts out as a really fun, rollicky kind of I was like, holy shit, Elderscrolls is doing it right. This is great. This is going to be fun. And then it all just falls apart like a flan in a cupboard. Yeah. And it's so
I was expecting more Diablo.
Sure.
Like the Diablo books that we read. And
they build the fucking world up. Like to the point that it's frustrating sometimes.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like we've criticized those books, but they have the opposite problem of what this book has.
Yeah.
So this is Greg Keyes, and this is what's so frustrating. It's like he's a good writer. Like I know enough to look at this shit and go, oh, you're a really good writer. Some fuckery happened and something fucked him. That's my optimistic view of this. That something fucked him over in the grand scheme of things, and he had to cut like 100,000 words or something like that because this is not done. So at least if we're gonna do 2 more episodes of this, at least it's short. That's nice. God. It's not like the fucking what was it? The Sins of the Fathers, the Gabriel whatever book.
Oh like God.
500 goddamn pages.
Just kept going, man.
Yeah. So now that we've gotten through that though, Kevin, I do have one last question before we finish up. What are you playing?
Oh, okay. I am playing. What am I playing? All right, I'm playing Shinobi: The Art of Vengeance, which is basically, I was playing Ninja Gaiden Ragebound a couple weeks ago. Shinobi: Art of Vengeance it's similar in it's a return. It's Shinobi is back, baby, and do your side scrolling ninja shit, and it's different enough that I would say. You could play both and have fun, different experiences playing them. Art style is really cool. It's very similar of like, the demons have invaded. And there's a human task force that's like working with the demons, and it's like some quasi-governmental agency is bringing the demons in, and you're the last of this ninja clan, and you gotta do it and get it done. It's a little bit more Metroidvania-y in that there's like you get new abilities as you go along, and then you can go back to old maps and open up certain areas.
Oh, cool. Right.
It's not like huge new areas. It's like you can now go back and open up a certain area.
It's more like it's almost like more like Mega Man X or something.
You can unlock a secret fight or something like that.
Right.
So yeah, it's a lot of fun. Shinobi Art of Vengeance. Good time. It's a good time. It's nice. Available now on Steam for well, I got it a little bit cheaper than the price of $29.99. I bought the, you can buy one of those collection things where it's Shinobi and Ninja Gaiden Ragebound, but because I already had Ninja Gaiden, I could buy the collection with just Shinobi in it for a few bucks off. So
nice.
Yeah, it's my next Steam Deck game because I'm finding I like Metroidvanias and platformers for my Steam Deck. That's kind of like where I'm at with it. And obviously, tomorrow, the day after this episode comes out, we got Silk Song is coming out, baby.
Right. Oh my God! So
that's gonna.
People have been waiting for that for ages.
Ages indeed. So Silk Song, it's kind of crazy, the games that are going to be coming out soon. Let me pull up my wish list real quick. So Silk Song is coming out on Thursday. Chronos: The New Dawn, which is Bloober Team's next game, is coming out Friday. Also coming out Thursday is Hell Is Us.
That looks pretty cool. That looks pretty cool. That looked interesting.
And then also coming out this month is the next Silent Hill game.
Yes.
So a lot of cool stuff.
And we've got the Vampire the Masquerade Bloodlines 2 coming out No, it's October. I think it is October.
Yeah, we'll see how that game actually turns out. Hopefully
we'll see. It's what I've heard is that it is not quite the type of game you played in the first Bloodlines, but that it is still pretty good. Which is better than I expected. So I'm cautiously optimistic.
It is still playable.
Yes.
The other thing I played is a demo for a game called Flickshot Rogues, which is basically it's a roguelike where you play as these little pirate dudes and you've landed on an island, and it's one of those games where you basically draw back the power and angle for your little dude, and you shoot them around the map, and they hit the other pieces and knock their HP down. And each of your pirate dudes has a different ability. Like one is it does damage based on direct contact. The other one does damage based on a perimeter, as long as the enemies are within a perimeter of him, but not based on direct contact. It's a cute game. It's tough to
clever.
It's tough to really explain it. There's actually a game in UFO 50 that did a similar thing with the flick shot thing. But I would it's worth checking out. And nice. For those of you who like a game where you land on a space and you choose one of 3 upgrades, it's one of those. Check that out. That's actually coming out in September as well. Nice. The demo is out now. Otherwise, I have been playing more Warhammer 40k Rogue Trader. I'm in chapter 4 right now, which is a lot of companion quest stuff. And I just finished the penultimate mission for Void Shadows. It's a doozy of a mission. It happens towards the beginning of chapter 4 while you're in a warp jump. So,
Oh, nice.
I had to turn the difficulty down for the boss fight on this one because it felt a little unfair.
I have no shame in saying that I've been playing this on the story mode the entire time.
You should be. you should be fine then with dealing with this thing, because Tyranids are no joke, folks.
Ooh, excellent. That's good news. That's good news.
People start worshiping the many-armed god, and
yeah,
shit goes
fucking
sideways.
Gene Stealer cults, man. Oh, I love them. I want to make an army of Gene Stealer cultists. I'm a fucking little commie alien people. They're awesome.
They are. What's funny about the Gene Stealer cultists is they don't even realize that at the end of the day they're just going to be turned into a pile of goo.
Right.
I guess that's the irony, is that they don't know that, like, there's no many-armed god coming for you. You're just going to be melted into a pile of biomass for
You're just part of the biomass,
for the Tyranids.
You're very useful, and we appreciate you for that.
We're going to build Tyranids are like, we will build ships out of you.
And they will.
And they
God, I
will.
love the Tyranids.
So that's what I'm playing. Phil, what are you playing?
Nice. Also playing Rogue Trader, just wrapped up chapter 3. That went on. Not my favorite chapter in this thing. It felt like every D&D or role-playing game DM puts forth a gladiatorial level at some point. And it's often when they've run out of ideas, or they just want to have some good hard and heavy punching, fighting, and that kind of thing. And there's nothing wrong with that per se. But there was like one fight after the other. And as I mentioned, I am on story mode, and that's my own problem. But God, it was by the time we were finished, I was like, oh my God, thank God. I am so sick of the Drukhari, and I know I'm going to be dealing with them more down the line, but at least I'm out of their goddamn planet. I am.
So I assume Marazai is dead, right?
Oh yeah.
Ulfar, did you get him?
Who's Ulfar? No, I didn't get Ulfar. Did I miss somebody?
The Space Marine.
Oh no! Did I? I wanted the Space Marine. Was he on there?
Yeah, that's where you get him in chapter 3.
Well, that actually makes a lot of sense. I was dying to get out of that chapter.
Yeah.
I sacrificed getting a space wolf to get the fuck out of that chapter.
When what's his name? The crazy doctor who is basically making you do the fights, or is like asking you to do the fights. In his room, there's a cage with Ulfar standing in it.
Oh, for fuck's sake! Yeah, I got my marching orders, and I got the fuck out of there. That explains it. Yeah.
Yep.
Well, I don't. You know what? I'll maybe I'll back up and do it again later. But I was over it. I was so over it. I just wasn't interested.
How did you get captured, by the way? Because you don't have Irliet, how does the capture happen?
Oh gosh, I don't even remember. It was not.
Did you check out a ship and then you get knocked out, or?
Yes. Oh,
okay.
Yes. Yes, we went to check out the ship. We were going to ambush the Drukhari, and one of my crew was brainwashed into working for them.
Got it.
And it was actually kind of fun because it was like they had all these different ways that you could set traps for them. So I was like, ooh, cool. I'll set this kind of trap, and I'll do this, and I'll do that, and of course I'm betrayed and defeated that way. Yeah, that's what happened.
Got it. Okay.
So what happens in the if you've got
what happens is you show up to the ship and the Drukhari are already there, and they basically just knock you out. They gas you.
Okay.
And you get knocked out right away. You don't even get a chance. You're just like,
no. It is interesting. It's fun.
And then you're put on trial, and Irliet is there, like, with the trial. Like, it's if you have her, if you didn't kill her with a dogmatic playthrough,
which I did,
she has. It is. I'll say this: Kimura becomes is a huge part of her story. So if she is dead, I can understand, like, well, there's a lot less happening now. Or a lot less.
That makes sense.
There's a lot less meat. It's like, it is like you having her and her being tricked by the Jukari with promises that they're going to help her find survivors from her craft world to turn you in. Like, that's the whole plot of Kimura. And I'm like thinking, if you don't have her, I feel like you're missing the meat of what you're doing on Kimura.
That explains so much. That explains so much. So yeah, so when the next bit of season pass shit comes out, and I inevitably end up playing this again, I'll try to.
Yeah, I would do an iconoclast playthrough, because you know what I'll say is, I think the iconoclast playthrough is honestly the only way to experience almost everything in the game.
Sure.
If you're a heretic or dogmatic, you are ultimately cutting yourself off from certain things. In both ways, because you're cutting yourself off from certain companions. Like, an iconoclast can get just about everybody except a few special companions, right? There's a few special companions that only show up if you are a dogmatic, and that's Incendia Corda. You can be a dogmatic companion, the other rogue trader, or Caligo's Winterscale if you're a heretic.
Yeah.
So and if you're iconoclast, they're both somewhat antagonistic towards you. But yeah, so there's a lot there.
That makes sense.
But I can understand it's not everybody's favorite. Like, a lot of people are ho-hum on chapter 3. I kind of like it, but I understand.
I will give them credit that it snapped along for the most part. It wasn't like chapter 2 was goddamn 25 hours or something.
Yeah.
This one clipped along at a much faster pace. It was just that the pace was taken up mostly with, well, you fought these guys, but what about fighting these guys? So I was like, all right, Jesus.
All right, fine, moving on.
Fine. So yeah, it's good, but I'm ready to get. I'm glad I'm back on my ship and doing.
You're glad you have your ship again.
Yeah.
You have. Did you fix the Heartless? When you had the confrontation with the Heartless, did you?
No.
Did you, oh, okay.
No. Yeah.
If you don't do any damage to it and you fix it, you just have the Heartless now as a second ship in all of your space combat.
That's pretty good.
Yeah,
I think I did do damage to it. I did something else with it though.
Yeah, you get the option to like launch an attack on the ship itself before you board it.
I think I sent it to be a defender on one of my other planets or something like that.
Got it.
I think that's what I did.
Yeah, and that raises the security of your one of your worlds.
I think that's what I ended up doing. If I'm recalling correctly, it's
all right.
It's all a blur. So I'm still doing that. I played a couple other things. I played the demo for Endless Legend 2. Endless Legend is one of those things. It's a 4X, and they are kind of that AA sort of studio kind of thing. I really loved the first Endless Legend. I wasn't very good at it, but I really enjoyed it. And I think the thing that the Studio Amplitude Studios has for them with these is that they are great at creating a fantasy world that is more than just, you got your elves, you got your dwarves, you got your humans. Like the races and the societies and the cultures they create are really unique and strange. It's also far more narratively focused for a 4X than they usually are. Their quests, stuff like that. And I think for this kind of game, that's perfect. It's got some jank. It's a little sloppy sometimes, in the same way that like it's just they just don't have limitless resources like say Firaxis or something like that.
Sure.
Those are janky as shit.
Civ 7. I still have not picked up Civ 7. I'm waiting.
Don't bother. I was really optimistic on that one, and the more time goes on, the more I'm like, it's not a worthy successor.
This is not what I want.
It's not what I want. Not what I was asking for. I'm gonna get into that one of these days. We might get into that at our Game of the Year episode or something like that. And so it's more of that. You've got really unique, interesting surroundings. It's more than just you're getting silk, you're getting grain, you're getting they really take it up a notch into the fantastic in a way that's very effective and really enjoyable. I just don't have time for another 4X in my life personally.
Yeah.
I just don't. I got enough. This is the year of Phil playing lazy games. I don't have time for another 4X. But it's beautiful. It's really well done. And if you are in the market for a really unique fantasy 4X, I highly recommend at least playing the demo. It's really impressive.
Sure.
I also played and finished Last Report.
I played that.
I remember I got it on your recommendation, and man, that was fun.
Yeah,
I am
a good little point and click, wasn't it?
I am all about these bite-sized 1 or 2 hour experiences, that have kind of just the 1 or 2 main mechanics that you use, and gives you some scares. It gives you a fun story. It gives you that. It's got some good analog horror kind of vibes to it. It scared me at times. It has like one little jump scare and it's whatever, but it's scary. And I played for about 15 minutes, and I had fucked up the way that you do the reports. I misunderstood, and so I started all over because I suddenly got it in my head. I was like, no, I'm getting a perfect score on these, so I got the perfectionist achievement.
Nice.
It's really enjoyable. I'd like to play through it again and try some other things, because you do have the big decision you have to make at the end, and I'd like to see how it differs. Great stuff. I look for games like this. I am. The older I get, talking about how open world games are de rigueur and to the point of boredom these days. So I'm really happy to find these little self-contained experiences, things like this. What was the other one I really enjoyed? The Children of Clay, things like that that are just like, where it's not long. It's a little, bite-sized or sandwich-sized
experience.
And I really appreciated what they did with this. I really enjoyed it. So I'm really happy about that. So that was a whole lot of fun. And I highly recommend it to anybody who would like also to have something like that. I think... Yeah, I'm playing the Count of Monte Clicker still. I'm almost at the end of that. That's actually the perfect game to have playing in the background while you're packing boxes, by the way.
Yeah.
It's a clicker game. So you hit this automated point. Yeah, and you just go back and check on it every now and then.
Make sure that everything's fine.
Exactly. Yeah.
So by the way, I noticed you got the achievement on Rogue Trader. You got the whodunit achievement. You discover the truth about Theodora's death.
Yes. Yeah, that was cool.
What'd you do to the perpetrator?
I forgave the perpetrator. I told the perpetrator, girl, you're good. It's all right.
Girl, you're good.
Because no matter how
sexy, and I know you're married to the Emperor, but
I know, but I'm dogmatic, but no one's that dogmatic.
And what's funny is she did it for dogmatic reasons.
Right. And that was, that's the thing. Ultimately, I was like, no, you did the right thing. That's good. Yeah. That's good.
If you have Solomorn with you, by the way, when that happens, he'll be like, she must be executed. Or like, she must be put on trial and executed. But Solomorn is like so... by the book,
The law.
That because to him, the Lex is the Lex. You can't,
Right.
And
he's the Javert of the group, pretty much.
Yeah, exactly. So Argenta stole a piece of bread and then shot that bread through Theodora's face.
Through the head. Yeah, that's, yeah, so...
What's funny is Argenta's like, the only thing I regret is killing Mort.
It's like, okay, fair enough.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, it wouldn't be a Phil episode if we didn't come close to 2 hours.
Yeah. Yeah, so thanks for listening to us. If you can, go follow us on the social medias. Blue Sky, Instagram, TikTok, Patreon, .com/pixelpod. Do it today. And so there's a puddle of biomass collecting. My driveway kind of like dips down a little bit where the rain builds up, and that's there's a puddle of biomass there, and it makes me worried that it's like, who do I call, with the government and all these days, who do I call about a Tyranid invasion?
Oh, I mean, you'd be amazed at what a regular household sponge can do. But it's got to be prepped, obviously. So
sure.
I recommend getting one of those scrub daddies, little face, and you get down. Find an anthill in your yard, preferably the closest anthill to the puddle of biomass, and find the little hillock that they're all crawling in and out. Get down there, put the sponge next to it, and put your mouth right up close to the little hole. And what you're trying to do is speak to the queen, the ant queen.
Sure.
And you're going to say,